Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Component Cast and our coverage of the Elendor Chronicles. First of all, sorry we haven't been live. Life hit people like a truck, and by me, and by people I mean me, and by truck I mean ceiling falling through. It's a long story, but everyone's safe, everything's fine. We just had to do some moderate repairs to my house. So that's why we haven't been live, but we're back, and it's been a while, so obviously I don't want us to hang around in this preamble too much. So if you enjoy this show and you want to support us, make sure you become one of our Twitch subs or join us on Patreon. Patreon gives us the biggest slice of the pie and helps us create shows like this one. But, of course, please only give within your means. And, of course, there are many things you can do for absolute free that help us out, like our videos, share our streams, share our social media posts, and listen to our Spotify or anywhere you get music, royalty-free album, and use it in your content. We won't strike you. It's completely free to do so. I made sure that there's no content ID on it. Just go and create wonderful things. You can find that as the Elendor Chronicles Volume 1 soundtrack anywhere you get music. I believe it's also already built into apps like TikTok and Snapchat if you make content on there. If you do, how? Anyway, without further ado, let's get on with tonight's broadcast. So, last time, we've got a lot of catching up to do. In the previous sessions, the end of the world has been happening. The sky is red, everything's bad. But, that being said, our exquisite heroes have been working to avert the apocalypse. Jumping ahead slightly, we had our heroes, one, form a plan for the end of the world, but two, begin to uncover the true means of what the king that never was. It turns out in the shrouded mysteries of the world, in these forgotten magics, that the king that never was is more than a singular entity. A plurality. There's a chance that it's actually a moniker for a forgotten adventuring party that once saved the world, much like the Skyfire Adventuring Company did. Various immortal entities whose memories had been clouded by magics began to remember. Ulfric the Bard Scholar divulging that key piece of information of that there might be more than one, slowly remembering the other guardians, the other people that travelled with the party of the king that never was. Upon this revelation, our party did a little bit more research. Anrayne, Ruby, focusing on researching spells to empower herself, ways to unlock her truest potential. Breton and Valymr, however, looking to scrape knowledge of anything they had missed. This research happening, of course, in the Cathedral of Ascension's Undercroft, the Sacred Crypt. However, things came to a head and our party split. Upon doing so, Anrayne set off to more field research means, shall we say, looking to tap into that subtle sensation, that echo of a thought in the back of her mind that pulsed subtly in her blood, to find out if Caloris would be the answer to her strength. Breton and Valymr, however, they continued researching only to uncover another library, another sanctum held secret within the secret sanctum, a place for the forgotten knowledge of shadows and of the gods that didn't make it into canon. They spoke to a crypt keeper-like entity that was a librarian who guided them through certain pieces of information. Valymr began reading about a lesser-known prophet, more commonly known as the Babbler, which, funny enough, is where the word babbling comes from in this world, who had began to be whispered to by one of the shadows, who told them such ridiculous prophecies that it was so hard to believe, yet might have been coming true. Hackniar, the mocking malice, did have the last laugh, however, driving that prophet completely crazy, and possibly trapping them within their own books. Breton continued to find knowledge, uncovering that your enemy, Zephyrus, the main big bad of this story, had also been researching in that chamber not 700 years before. Breton uncovering some of Zephyrus's research himself. But eventually, Valymr and Breton decided that enough was enough for research, and they set out to the Underdark, where they would return for the first time to Valmyr's home, Kensek Keep, a gateway between the upper world and the realms below, on the search for serums or potions that would protect them for psychic damage. They met with Valmyr's uncle, who set them on the path to get more resources to make potions. They were offered a small amount of potions right away, and they could just get clear. However, the lucrative prize of almost 20 potions of psychic resistance was too much to resist. It was too much of a boon. So, the two paladins ventured forth into the Underdark, to a hive of illithid nature, deep into the mines, where they hope to extract some cerebral spinal fluid, some of the elements used in ceremorphosis, but also in the creation of these potions. But before we get on with tonight's session, that's where we left off. Before we get on with tonight's session, I need you guys to answer me a question in order to get yourself a D20 inspiration to be used as a party. However, this party is split right now, so I am going to offer 2 questions. One to Ruby, and one to Breton and Valymr. Breton and Valymr, what is the name of the illithid god? The shadow, shall we say? The illithid shadow.
I definitely did not make a note of this.
And then, Ruby, your question. When Ruby was resurrected as Soul, what food item was she offered by Brala?
Cookies.
Cookies is correct.
Valkesh, the Whispering Doom.
Also correct. That's a point of inspiration for both parties. I will say if the party regroups, anyone can use either of those inspirations. So, please. I might even throw you an extra inspiration if you guys get it back together. Anyway.
Maybe just call us AC/DC. You'll never know.
Armor class? Dexterity class?
Difficulty challenge.
Oh, difficulty challenge, yeah. Anyway. Whilst we did last leave off with the men in the mines, which they obviously yearned for, we're actually going to pick up to Ruby in flight. Ruby, it's been some hours now since you received that message from Breton saying where they were going. Has anything changed about the way you're flying, or are you just...
No, she's making her way slowly south-southeast.
Mm-hmm.
Breton gets a acknowledged from her, but nothing much past that.
Okay. Can you make a perception check for me as you fly?
I like making those and failing them. See, I said that ironically. That way I'm probably sure to pass, right? Is that how it works?
I believe that is how it works, yeah.
15.
15. You have a pretty good view now of the Spine mountain range, the big mountain range that cuts between the Ranian Basin and the plains of the Nardathel. And it's, southeast of you now. And a couple of those mountains, you see like a little lick of fire at the top of one of the mountains.
Okay. Volcano?
Possibly.
Looks like.
Yeah.
Start making her way that direction. Flappity flappity. I'm a flying. Watch me go.
Sure.
Further, she doesn't fly very high up. She's 500-600 feet up because don't want to freeze. But
Sure.
you go.
Okay. You estimate that you'll be there within a day. With a rest at this point.
If I could see it,
it's
line of sight.
It's line of sight in the same way that if you're in Denver, Colorado, you can see the Rockies pretty well, but I wouldn't say it's close.
So if I say I want to teleport to that spot,
that spot is a pixel.
Okay. Sure.
So you can certainly try, but I don't know how well it'll go.
I got my one roll of the day out. That's good. I'm not going to test my luck any further.
Okay, friend. That's no problem. So you are continuing your flight. Jumping back, I'm going to do a lot of jumping back and forth here, to the mind. Breton, Valymr, you have just dealt with a creature that you did not recognize. Not even in the books of dealing with illithids, Valymr, had you heard of such a weird little creature that, you did eventually deal with. It essentially managed to evade you eventually. It seemed like it was affected by light, hence your spell. But...
And is it completely gone now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you are no longer in combat.
Well, hopefully that isn't going to alert the rest of the illithid to our presence.
The thing that you picked up mostly, both of you, is this thing just wanted to get away. It was somewhat hostile. It was very skittish. But yes, the mines still echo. Breton, you've got very high perception. Make a perception check for me.
18.
18. You, in this moment of breath and brevity, you take a moment to assess your surroundings. You are definitely heading down, the natural trajectory of the various pathways you've been taking. It's a decline, but it's subtle. But you notice something in the rock wall here. The rock is grown over something. There is just an element, there's a break in the crack, where the mining was happening. There's a break here in one of the walls, and you see that there is a completely smooth surface.
There's a break in one of the walls, and there is a completely smooth surface there.
The rock has fallen away, and there's a smooth surface behind it.
Like a wall?
Yeah. But it's not brickwork. It's completely smooth. In fact, it reflects the light slightly. Almost like it's made of metal.
Take a closer look at that.
Sure. It's probably a softball size space that you can see. It's the stone walls of this cave, of this mine, have almost been put up next to it, over it, covering it, almost like the rock has been shaped as a facade to something.
Rock has been shaped as this facade to something.
But either in the combat recently or just over time from wear and a movement within the rock, some of it's fallen away and you can now see this patch.
If Breton... Let's check my inventory right quick, so I'm curious. Sorry, everything's so running slowly. I've got a climber's kit and a climber's kit.
I have a warhammer that you could borrow.
I was wondering if I just had a crowbar. I don't think I do just have a crowbar. I suppose he'll... Fuck, I forgot the Dragon Slayer. This is going to be an egregious waste of this. If he just kind of pries into the rock next to that metal and tries to pry more of the rock away, does it seem like there's more of that metal underneath?
Give me an athletics quickly. Not a very high DC for you, but I want one none the same.
19.
As you chip away, yes, it seems like there's more. More the rock crumbles.
So this is just covering something that's underneath. Does the metal look like something he could recognize? Has he seen any metal like that before?
Ooh, give me a history check with double proficiency for your as your background.
28.
28. Yeah, this looks like this looks like some form of steel. Though the process of it seems to be it doesn't look like it's been made with a hammer or anything. It's not like it's not forged steel. It is some sort of casting process.
I don't suppose you know anything about the metal these creatures use, Valymr.
DM, do I know much about the metal that the Illithids use? Does it look familiar to me?
Roll Roll me a history check.
$13.
No clue.
Doesn't ring a bell to me.
Well, there's a whole lot of it underneath here. Looks like they built the structure around it. I can't imagine. I mean, this is all cast. This wasn't shaped, so I can't imagine how you could make something like. Assuming that all the brick here and all of this is something that has been built around it. Why would you use metal like this in a foundation? That doesn't make any sense.
How much of this has been like picked away? Like you said, there's like softball. I think like
Yeah.
I don't know how big a softball is. A head size.
Toddler's
How much
head?
did Breton
Not even.
pry away?
Probably another softball.
I mean, it might
Assuming
not
that
be a building or foundation. It might be the thing, just like an object that's embedded in the wall.
the stonework here, it looks like it was placed in front of it. You wouldn't just put a wall in front of this. You would put it over a larger structure, like you're trying to hide it from the outside.
There is the
But I can't
impression
figure out-
that this would keep going.
Yeah, and this was cast like this. This was almost like poured like a mold into place. First of all, the mold of that would be gigantic. This wasn't worked with a hammer or steel, but also you wouldn't do that to build a wall.
Yeah.
You wouldn't need the work to be that fine.
Maybe you could try breaking open a bit more of the wall further down the tunnel.
Yeah, we'll give it the old shot. Also, yeah, I guess as we're going along, like every 10 feet or so, he'll just pry a little bit more of the wall out
Sure.
and see if, like, he'll just like take a hammer and pike and just like just pull some of the wall out and see if there's more of that metal along.
Yeah. As you continue down, ding, 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 yeah, you're finding more of this. And as you head further along, more to where you originally saw that creature as the tunnel began to curve, you actually come to a completely flat metal wall.
This is
And the tunnel seems to go into it.
I think maybe I'll put the blindfold on to see if there are any hidden doors. Blindfold
up.
down, no.
So
I'll start.
you need to reattune to that.
Yeah.
In the meantime,
so this
Brett,
is
are you
funny.
doing anything?
So Valymr has blind sight, the blindfold as well as the true sight. Breton also has blind fighting now because of fighting style. So if he just kind of like places his ear up against the metal wall and just taps on it, is there anything on the other side or is it hollow?
You thum, 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 and there's like a musical resonance to it, which would allude to the fact that there is something on the other side. Definitely here.
Can you tell how thick it is from it?
Thicker than plate armor.
We could break through thicker than plate armor steel, right?
You get the same feeling I do. This is a door.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, presumably there's got to be a way to open it. They're not just breaking it down every time. You want to search low, I'll search high.
If it is a door, in about half an hour, I'll be able to see it as well.
I'm gonna. You work on that then. I'm going to see if I can't figure another way into it. And I guess Breton was
Well, I can't see. I'll just.
Breton's just gonna like hand along, like pressing sections of it. Like, is there anything about this that gives? Is there any like switches or anything that lets suggest like this could be opened in any way?
You begin to like maneuver your hands across the metal, and then suddenly you see a purple handprint appear, like sort of 2 centimeters from the wall. It's a really elongated hand, like in the purple, it's like almost it's human plus hand, like really long stretched fingers, and in the center of the hand, there is just a like a tentacle that's wrapping around a brain.
I think that's how you get in, but I don't think it recognizes our authority.
So while you two have a think on that, jumping back to Ruby. Ruby, it's getting towards the end of the day. You think the sun doesn't set anymore, just the sky gets a different shade and hue of red.
Lovely.
Are you continuing? Are you going to keep pushing, or are you going to settle down?
She's rested. She hasn't used any spell slots.
Yeah.
She's got a pretty good amount of constitution. Yeah, she'll probably keep going.
Okay. So you continue to press on. If your timekeeping is anything to go by, it's probably heading towards 22, 23 hours since you left that hut and those children. When you finally get probably within like what I would call the foot of the mountain range. It's like the trees begin to break and the ground begins to climb.
Sure.
There isn't like any lava flow or anything down here. It doesn't seem like the initial mountains of the spine are interrupted. And ahead of you, you also see a small village, probably a hamlet of about 10 houses, probably a local farming community. At the base of one of this mountain, and there is a stone path that begins to climb up.
She'll descend towards the hamlet.
Okay.
Yep. Get land outside of it and then walk in. Doesn't
Sure.
want to scare anybody.
Yeah, no superhero landing in the town square. I get you. It's actually a little bit off pace, really, for Ruby. I thought you would superhero landing in the town square. No.
She is considered of infrastructure,
Sure.
if anything.
You enter the hamlet. All the houses are kind of arrayed around a sort of a circular well in the center of the town. They're kind of erratically placed. It's not like evenly done. It's not in any sort of pattern. The main also secondary note, the biggest structure in this little hamlet seems to be a barn, a really large barn that seems to be for livestock.
Okay. Any sort of tavern or community house or anything like that?
Too small for that, it seems.
Too small for that? Okay.
But you begin
Sure.
wandering in. It's really quiet.
Well, it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm not surprised.
Oh, it's earlier than that. It's past that. It's probably about 4 or 5 a.m.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, she'll look around, just make sure nothing's going. The town's not in flames, but
No.
she'll find a place outside town and probably set up a tensor's hut.
Okay. So you are
For Lehman's side, excuse me.
you're gonna rest until it's
Yeah,
light.
daylight. Yep.
Okay. Hopping back to the gents. Breton, are you trying anything, or are you waiting for Valymr? If you're speaking right now, Lake, I can't hear you.
So Valmyr's taking his time to do that. If Breton goes back and gets the body of the creature they killed, if he puts the hand of that creature to the door, does it have any response?
I don't think you had a body.
Oh, the body
Kept it
just...
away. Didn't it get away?
No, we
from us?
definitely killed
No,
it.
you killed it, but I think it went up in dust.
Okay. The body was no longer tangible. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Then I think what Breton will do is Breton is just gonna chill out because, I don't think True Sight's gonna tell us any more about this door, but I don't think it's not responding to Breton's pressing his hand there to open it. So we've got to find another way to get it open.
Are you going to try and press your hand to that hand, Breton?
I thought the assumption is that's how he found it, as he pressed his hand there.
It's no, as you were going around the door, it glowed to your lower right.
Then I'll say, then I'll be kind. I'm not going to rush Valymr. I'll give him the 30 minutes to finish attuning to the blindfold, and when he's ready to go, then Breton will be like, might as well knock.
Okay.
Just reach a hand over to it.
As you
What do I see? Does it look like a door to my
Yes, it
true
does.
sight?
There's a
Does it have a handle by any
split line-
chance?
No.
Okay.
There's a split
That would've been
line
easy.
down the middle, imperceptible by standard sight, but you see a glowing space between an elevator door almost. Brett, as you begin to move your hand towards it, as you get within 1 centimeter of the glow, it magnetizes you to it. And you hear a voice in your head.
Who I with the Ring of Mind shielding?
Ooh, hang on.
Because it prevents from us from being detected, and a creature cannot. I don't think a creature can communicate with us unless we allow it.
Okay,
I gotta
you
remember the
feel
exact
something.
wording
No,
on
you're
that.
right. You are completely right. Something feels like it's trying to communicate with you.
Okay.
But I will say then, I'm guessing the Ring of Mind shielding is on that hand. You see the silvered brain on that ring glowing purple.
I think Brent just looks to Valymr and says, I think security wants a word.
Naturally.
I don't speak Mind Flayer. I don't.
It's what do they speak?
I think their language is Illithid. They've got a written language as well, but I think they speak Illithid. They're telepathic, though. I don't know if they have their own language at all. They may just rely on feelings and emotions. So if I answer this and I let them in and we talk, there's a good chance they will figure out we are not them. They may become hostile. We may not get in anyways.
Yeah.
Is that the plan here? We need to.
Think we wanted to try and get in, get out with as little commotion as possible, but maybe putting the hand on there at all is like a doorbell.
Breton.
Mm-hmm.
You get the impression that whilst something is trying to contact you through this, you feel like there's some manipulation. Give me a quick Arcana check.
I think I'm the worst member of the party to do that. Sure. 13.
Yeah.
You think, thanks to the fact that you have a Ring of Mind shielding, that the initial defense of this door hasn't made it through, and you might be able to brute force this lock.
Oh, was it like instead of something contacting him, it was more like, how do I even phrase it? The security system quite literally is like speak the password. Okay. Yeah, you know what? We're already here. If they know we're here, they know we're here. Like, well, who needs this subtle shit? It was never gonna work anyways. Let's just see if we can't open this door.
Okay, give me a strength check as you grapple with the willpower of this door's lock.
Straight strength check?
I'll allow athletics.
Because that's a much different number. That's a natural 1 for a 15.
Use it. You
want to use
it.
the inspiration? Okay.
Well, you do still have the shard.
I'll use the daily use of luck from the shard.
There you
That's
go.
what I'll use. We'll keep the inspiration. That becomes a 20.
You manage to turn and it almost feels like you're breaking a wrist as you turn that hand. The purple goes red and the door smacks open. In front of you, you see...
I have the glaive out and I'm ready, just in case.
In front of you, you see a staircase. A dark staircase. But there is a flickering light at the bottom of it.
What kind of colour is the light?
Yellow.
Is it going up or down?
Down.
Breton has dark vision because the potion's a dark vision, so he can see. I'm just double checking your notes here because it's been a minute.
Yep.
We're making sure we got all our ducks in a row before we go forward. Breton is going to... I don't know if this is going to work. He's going to take a second here to try and, drive a python into the open door frame to make sure this door does not close.
Oh, nice. Okay,
Good.
sure.
Yeah.
We're gonna handle this old school D&D style. If I had
Hell
a 10-foot pole, we'd be using it.
What's the immovable rod? Just ching.
If we had one of those, I'd throw it here too. But I don't think we have one of those at our disposal.
Someone in your party used to have one.
Let me check the party sheet. See if it's in the party sheet. If it's in the
It's
party
not.
sheet, Breton's carrying it. No,
It's
it's not.
sadly
Okay,
not.
that's fine.
Darius used it for a parachute.
Yes, Darius would be the person with the Swiss Army toolkit. Yeah, he's just gonna put 2 pythons in there, really make it hard for this door to close, and say, "You want to go first or second?"
I have a
It's gonna be
longer
hard for you
reach weapon.
It's gonna be hard for you to see over me one way or the other.
Sure, I'll go.
It's just a wall of Breton in front of you. It doesn't matter how good your eyesight is.
All right, I'll go first then, so you can see over the top of my head.
Okay.
Glaive out and
Sure.
descend the stairs.
You two descend the stairs, and as you do, please open the map, not so subtly called Cloning Lab.
Cloning lab. Oh boy.
With that,
We just.
I'm gonna jump back to Ruby. You think it's about dawn as you hear. Well, I'll say you notice someone who looks like a farmer leaving one of their hovels and going towards that large barn. They're probably about 100 feet away from you. They haven't noticed you.
Okay. Yeah. Short rested in. She's awake. She's alert. Lower the bubble and get ready to go.
Cool. Are you looking to interact with the hamlet, or are you just going to go start climbing the mountain?
People are waking up and moving about. She's probably going to go into the center of town and find somebody interesting to talk to ask what the stairs are up to. Maybe even the old farmer.
Okay. As you begin moving into the hamlet, the farmer does catch a glimpse of you and then sort of go waves.
Good morning.
All right. Good morning. What is a ladyship doing in her this part of the land? The man looks to be about late 60s.
Going for a walk, taking a pilgrimage. Traveling the land. Curious to see what's up the mountain and the path up there.
Oh, well, if you're on a pilgrimage, you should know. That path goes, it's about a day's journey, and it's the old chapel.
To whom?
Well, the lights.
Okay.
Oldest one in the country.
Really?
Aye.
Older than the one in seat, really? Interesting. How do we know it's the oldest?
It's you know, story, tradition anyway. There was a hermit that moved up there. Supposedly was a survivor of the War of the Heavens. One of the founding acolytes of the faith.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
They buried him up there. They buried him up there originally, but I believe his bones are in the cathedral now, back in the capital.
Is anybody else up there? Anybody live up there?
Oh no, it's in ruin and disrepair at this point. But people pilgrimage all the time. They leave offerings at the mile markers as you go up. Best not to disturb them though.
Oh sure. No, I would never. Thank you. What's the volcano over there?
Don't know about that, but there's been a lot of strange occurrences of late. We're
Looks up to the sky. Really?
we're actually slowly working on getting the herds down from the mountains, and we're gonna try and move further inland. For the time being. What with that fire up there, it seems. The mountains are angry.
Yeah. What do you farm out here? Goats?
Oh, we farm the only the finest Indian browns.
And Beth doesn't know what those are.
Make a quick history check.
Well. That's a natural 20 for 27.
Okay.
What a way to get that roll out. I learned what cows are.
Well, it's
Well, of course, you probably cook the crap out of these things.
That's so true. Hold on 2 seconds. In the spine is obviously ecologically it's very mountainous, but one of the most prized possession of the Rien, or so prized exports of the Rien, is the Bamberley Brown Winderdun sheep, which is like a brown sheep that's fur is both really, really, really thick, but also really, really, really soft. And it's prized for making both coats and like bedding. Mm-hmm. Imagine like a sheep made of memory foam. But
thank you very much. Would are you hungry? I've got some food if you need something to eat.
Oh no, Mrs. already made the pottage for today. But thank you kindly. You'll need all the energy you can get if you're hiking the mountain trail, especially in this kind of weather.
I think I'll be all right. She'll smile.
Have a good day, miss.
You as well. She will start to climbing.
Okay.
And she's actually going to climb it.
You're gonna walk it? Okay.
Walk it, yeah.
Sure.
I also hear myself on your end, or through somebody. I've got a reverb.
Anyone else getting a reverb?
I don't know.
I
hear it once in a
a
while.
second ago. Like when it's just getting loud enough, somebody is bouncing back.
Okay. I've turned my headphones down. It could be my own headphones.
Okay.
I don't want to adjust the volumes too much because I don't obviously want to affect the stream.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you begin to climb the path. It's not a well-kept path, but it's well-kept enough. The easiest way to describe it is, do you remember like High Hrothgar in Skyrim?
Yeah, the path up. Yeah.
God,
of like
7,000 steps.
Yeah, it's very much like that.
Not actually 7,000 steps.
No, it's not even close.
But you go about an hour into the climbing when you see this first marker. And it's like a little roadside shrine. Probably goes up to probably your bosom. And in it is like it's a pole, and then there's 4 faces of it. With different characters set in like a little archway. And you notice on the floor there's like a cleanly like a wreath that was laid like 7 or 8 months ago that's kind of crumbling. There's like some little tokens. There's an incense burner on the floor below it.
Oh, do I have incense? Don't think I do. I'm gonna check my inventory.
No problem.
Eventually, when my character sheet loads.
Yeah. And there's 4 characters like set in it.
Yeah, what do they, identify them?
Sure, you can try. Give me a religion check or a history check.
My
One is
character
easier
sheet's
than
not
the other.
loading. Hello? Oh, there it is. History or what, I'm sorry?
Religion.
One of those I'm good at, and one I'm not. Let's roll history. 17.
Some of the individuals are very easy for you to recognize. You see a couple of members of the Lights. You see Arda, the guild father. You see Oasis, the Mother Wild. You see an image that you think is the king that never was, and then an unknown female character.
I use prestidigitation to kind of scour them and clean them off.
You can clean them off.
Yeah.
It doesn't really
My
help
offering.
with the identifying, but yeah, you can absolutely clean it as an offering.
Mm-hmm. Camera flickered, sorry.
It's okay.
There we go. Unidentified female. Sure.
They seem to be in very, very simple robes. And a kind of a very odd expression. Their eyes look like they're crying, but they're smiling. So, sad eyes, happy mouth.
I got nothing. But she'll
No,
take
this
her
is
journal
very
out
new
and
to you.
yeah, take a quick sketch of that. Figure that out later.
Okay.
Yeah, clean it and then keep on walking.
Sure. Well, and you begin to, you continue to climb the steps. Are you going to stop anywhere up these steps? It's not a difficult path. Like, as you walk, it's, sure it gets higher. It's just a long time that this is taking. And you do pass more of these shrines, by the way. Do you want to stop at every one?
Yeah, Ruby. That's how it is. Ruby's not an especially faithful person,
Mhm.
obviously.
What are you doing?
We hear you, like. But there is a spiritual part of her that
Mhm.
understands what these people, the hero's path, was meant to represent, even if it has been twisted throughout time, and she is honoring it in her own way.
Sure. So you're showing reverence, no problem.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you stop at each one. At each of the marker shrines, the three of the gods, like the ones that you can identify, change. This female character doesn't. She's always on.
Are the impressions of her any more clear at other shrines?
Not really.
What I'd kill for Zep and the mending spell. Sorry, this is Beth thinking.
Mm-hmm. You
I got nothing.
You pass 20 odd of these shrines.
Mhm.
Until finally you crest a bit of a hill, and there's a bit more of a divot, and then the road continues up. But at the top you see the remains of a simplistic stone chapel. It has a small bell tower that once probably held a bell. The roof crumbled away, but it stands there pretty solidly. And if you look up, further up the mountain, you see the mountain alight with flame.
Walking in.
Okay. You continue towards the chapel. Once you cross what you think the threshold of like the actual chapel grounds is, there's a kind of a warmth here. You've been going up sort of, it's been late spring, early summer, so climbing a mountain hasn't been unpleasant either. But up here it's like the air becomes neutralized, like it's warm, but it's otherworldly warm.
Like sitting inside a tiny hut warm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And if you look inside the chapel, it's a very, very simple chapel. Pews either side, altar, roof slightly caving in. There's like a little bit of root growth. However, the icon here, there's two statues, one either side of the altar. One is the kind of really, you notice this from a lot of like the Cathedral of Ascension's architecture and some of the much older places of the King That Never Was faith, the Nine Lights, the Pantheon Outway faith, the classic old image of the King That Never Was is one statue. And then this unidentified female character is the other. And they're standing either side of the altar, with the altar sort of, they're both facing each other, and then the altar is between them. So everyone would kind of be looking at their side profiles.
Yeah.
If you were sat in the pews.
Beth can't think of any relation to a female pantheonic character that was a god that wasn't one of the Nine Lights, and this is definitely not them.
No. This is very different.
And I've read the redacted stuff from
You've
the
read
first
some
edition.
of the redacted. You've read some of the redacted stuff, yeah.
No mention of a character like this?
No. Give me a quick religion check. Not a very high DC.
Sure. 10.
You know that the church's teachings haven't always been what they were. They haven't always been the same. A lot of local regions as well have local deities, saints, individuals that mean more to the locality than elsewhere. In the same way that a village might in the Nardathel will definitely have a local saint, like someone who was like a local that became holy. The Rien was not without that, and before the Rien was an empire and it was all its own individual kingdoms. Before like the Council of Agram, where they actually like made a faith, like a combined faith. There was a lot of like folk teachings and a lot of other elements that went alongside this. And this being a really old chapel, it could be something like that.
I'm gonna go rise Christianity. A lot of the people still had their god plus Christian gods.
Yeah. Exactly.
Interesting. She still have the smile but the crying motif?
Yes. something that you do pick up on. Though, her cloak is a little bit more full-formed here.
Mm-hmm.
The very, very bottom of the cloak looks like it's feathers.
Interesting. Is there a just underneath? Is the statue sitting on a pedestal at all, or?
Yep, both statues are on a pedestal that goes to about half the height of this altar in the center.
Any inscriptions on them, or is it just a pedestal?
Just a pedestal.
Okay.
This is
there
a
any-
very bland church, to be fair. Like a very bland
Sure.
chapel.
That's fine. There's no literature about or anything like that?
No. Not here.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Been lying around for a long time. She's gonna cast Detect Magic.
Sure. And while you do that, let's hop back to the Underdark. So, gentlemen, around you, you now see a hallway.
Yeah, so where is the door that we entered from?
So, the staircase that you entered from is on your left.
So it immediately goes up, and it immediately goes ahead. There's also a door here.
So we descended the stairs that are like above us.
Yes.
Okay.
And the ones that look like they go down,
Oh.
they're crumbled. It doesn't actually look like you can get down anyone there.
Okay. Where the light is coming from, does that look like it's coming from underneath a door, or kind of situation
So that
is
light behind you is a lit torch.
Ah, okay.
No.
So we've got a small door just below us. Ahead in the corridor, there's a double door and another door on the left.
Yes.
So, okay. And that door to below us, is that like completely like solid door, no ability to look
So
through it?
you, that's actually a barred door, which is why you can see what's in that little room there, or should be able to from your token vision.
Mm-hmm. We can. That's why I was asking, like,
yeah.
should I be able to see that or not?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. It's it looks to be some sort of storage.
Okay.
All right, well, we're here for a reason. This doesn't change it. Maybe it's...
Yeah. Okay.
Palmer, is this the place you've normally hunted these creatures, or is this new?
It's new to me. This is the place. So we went past the furthest point that I'd went, right? And I think you said that there was a point where I had stayed and waited for the hunting party to come back. Did they mention any kind of underground frickin' mansion doodad going on?
Nope.
No, this is all new to me. And the
All right.
others, they never mentioned anything like this. Does it look old?
No. Pristine.
It looks pristine. I
Also,
think this
that's
is
a lit torch behind you. Normal torch, not a magical torch. A lit, normal torch.
also those things only burn for like an hour, so this is active as well. I don't know how long torches light are lit
an
for
hour's
in
about right,
D&D.
Yeah. We don't want to tarry too long. Nothing
Alright.
to it but good. Before we move, I'm just going to go ahead and say Breton is scanning these hallways for traps or other things that might go amiss by people stepping carelessly and casually. Before that, we will just get moving. There's a door here, there's a staircase here. I feel like we should probably clear the area we're at before we move on to the next one.
I'm gonna cast protection from good and evil on myself.
Okay.
as much as I would love to also cast the buff spell, I only have so many 4th levels, and that spell does not last an inordinate amount of time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that spell Correction Grenade only lasts like a minute, doesn't it?
10
Protection
minutes.
Signal good is 10 minutes. That's also a 1st level spell compared to
Yeah.
my spell, which is a 4th level spell. And I don't have protection from evil and good prepared, so it's not going to be that big a deal. I'll just go
Can
on along.
Get to this side door and can I check it out? Is there door handle? Oh, it's open.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like almost a prison door.
Prison. Okay.
So it's like metal bars, so you can see through.
Right. Does it look like it's locked?
You haven't tried it. Doesn't actually seem to be like a handle or a lock on it. You also see light coming, like ebbing deeply in that corridor.
Right. Can I scan around for traps, tripwires, that kind of nonsense?
Give me a perception check.
20, dirty.
Nothing that you can see, both in your standard vision and your ethereal vision. You do get the impression, though, that the door in front of you is locked. Probably magically.
Door in front of me being the double or the single?
The single, sorry, to the north. The double, that isn't actually a door, right? As in, there's a door towards the end, which is actually marked on the map, which is a sight-blocking door. It's another one of those metal doors like the one that you came in. The 2 lines in front of you is actually just a step up.
Okay. This door and bars here on the side, this is magically locked, I think. And I suppose we could dispel magic on it, but I think maybe for now going a different route might be better. Quite a lot of magic to try and dispel a door. We don't know what's at the end of it.
We also don't know if you magically lock a door, it's because you don't want people getting into it. But
yeah,
that's just a best guess over anything. I mean, if this, then we immediately go back up the stairs and see what's up the stairs above this.
that's where we came from.
We came up from down the stairs. There's also up.
No,
the stairs.
down the stairs is
You came from
locked rubble stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You descended.
So we came from down. So we descended. We're going farther down is rubble. So we are immediately at a door we cannot go through, and there's no other point of egress.
There's a double door to your right, which it looks to be like another one of the doors that you entered for to get into this complex.
There's also
Okay,
looks
sorry,
like there's a corridor to the north.
So the door to the north is the one that was sealed.
Yes.
Yeah, one tile north of me.
Okay, that's fine.
Can I creep forward to like here to look up this? What looks like it's not a corridor. It's like a fireplace.
Yeah, it seems to be a little divot on each side of this. They seem to be like a grotesque, so like a statue of a face, on either side.
That looks trappy as fuck. Can I take a closer look at these like grotesque, gargoyle-y kind of things?
Mm-hmm.
Specifically thinking that they might be.
They
traps.
look like an illithid head, each. Yeah, give me a perception check.
$21.
These seem to have gems in the eyes.
color are the gems?
Colorless. They're almost lens-like. You think this is a mechanism of some sort.
And is there gems on like all four eyes, like north and south?
Yes.
Does it look like the gems have like an orientation, as in like, is there any point on the gem that is slightly different? So like, if I twist it, it would change something on it.
No, these are like recessed in the heads. They seem to be a focusing point for a mechanism. You think they transmit something, whether that's an attack or
vision
or whatever. Looking around you, you don't think you've triggered them.
My guess is if we try and open that door in front of us, it will be... These things will be able to see, or like, you know, scry on us for whoever's at the other end. Can I take... Hang on, let me have a look at my inventory a second. I'm sure I have just like a random piece of cloth, surely. Do you have any cloth on you, Breton?
Nothing that's loose. Unless you want to start cutting into our bedrolls. We can get more bedrolls.
Apparently I have a little bit of bat fur on me as well. I don't know how far that'll go.
Not enough.
Maybe we check out this like storage area to the south. There might be something in there, and I'm thinking maybe if we could find something there, just to put over these heads before we try this door.
Well, I'm not going to leave it vacant in the process. I mean, Breton will just put a bedroll over it.
Okay. Which one are you going for?
There are two of these heads.
So there's one to the north, one to the south.
One to the north. You
see there's two little alcoves?
I see the two doorways. I think you may have taken away my dark vision.
That might be the case. Give me a moment.
Okay. Yeah. So while I'm selected, I don't have dark vision because normally I wouldn't, but I can do this.
Hold on.
Oh yeah. If you click on my character, you can see what I can see.
Yeah. If I just click off of Breton, I can see what I can see. That makes a lot more sense of how this looks now. Okay. I feel like if we step in front of them, that might trigger them as well.
I think you need to just change your senses in your character sheet to dark vision 60. I don't think I can apply it to you directly. It's not a listed effect.
It's fine. We got it. I mean, if I cover one, we're gonna have to cover both of them, Valymr. We're probably gonna have to cover them at the same time.
I agree. So I don't have a bedroll.
So you just sleep on the ground every day.
I have no idea.
So there is a sigh as Breton pulls out his Sanguillum dagger and he starts cutting his bedroll into twos.
Okay.
All right. I guess on three.
Nice lore drop there, Breton.
It's been in my inventory ever since I made Breton. I have not forgotten that Sanguillum dagger. It has been here the entire time.
Cool. Yeah, you cut your bedroll in two. You've now got two large sheets of cloth.
One of them go to Valymr. He'll say, "All right, on three. 1, 2." He's like step around the corner and throw the sheet up over the thing.
Okay. Are you gonna try and do it from the positions you're at?
Sorry,
Oh.
that I clicked on the door in the dark because I had to click on Breton to see where I could move.
Okay.
I mean, Breton, if we could get to here, obviously, I think Breton moved to like along the corner so he could come around the corner and throw up as efficiently as possible.
Are you doing this carefully or quickly?
On 3, so quickly.
I think we're going quickly. Yeah.
Sure. Give me a dexterity check then, each of you.
Yep. 19. Just raw dogged an 18 on the die.
13.
Okay. Breton, you managed to get yours over the statuette in front of you, completely covering the head, draping it along the thing. Valymr, as you jump in front, you just see a vroom, like a beam of light scan your body. Almost quick as like a photo booth flash photography.
Bad news. I think it got me. I've been scanned.
And just gonna turn and like look him up and down. Seem fine.
There was some light that came out of it, and I don't know. I feel like whatever.
The struggle to not meta right now is so strong.
Breton, make a perception check.
Perception check. I'd be happy to make a perception check. 13.
That's enough. There is a glowing green band now round Valmyr's arm, like sort of a centimeter away from his skin. It looks to have like information displaying on it in a different language.
Did Valymr still read every language? I think he gave that power up.
No, I can.
No,
still
that's
read
one
it.
he kept. He kept that one. He
Okay.
gave up marks
Then
in many cases.
if Breton just points that out to him, then what is it? What
Yeah,
can he
Valymr,
read
you
about
see it.
himself on it?
It's like a medical patient band. You've got vitals. You've got your in non-in-game terms, your current HP. Your heart rate is visible.
Is it now going up?
You also see your blood type and like your bloodline. So it says both Drow and Infernal on it. It's just giving like medical information.
It's interesting.
The door in front of you also opens. With a just a calm movement.
Well, I think they know we're here. Shall we?
Yeah.
Gonna move to 15 to here.
Sure. In front of you, you see a completely circular chamber. In front of you as well, you see 8 large green glowing vats, like pulsating with liquid. Inside them, humanoid forms suspended in the goo. There's also what seems to be a pool of fluid in the center of this room that you can hear subtle sloshing in. On the far side of the room, you see actually more lit torches, this time in like lanterns, into what looks to be like a laboratory on the far side. There's also a large set of pumps that are just within your vision at the end that are just... Breton, are you moving
I
forward
do
as
not
well?
envy these people.
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
This is definitely not what we came here looking for, but there's something off about this place. I'd say I'm surprised, but let's face it, we've seen so much that's been a surprise over the past 5 days that I'm not. I'm really not. And Red just starts to walk into the room, just like, just kind of like looking, like moving over to one of these things, and it's kind of like looking at this glowing orb or whatever this is more closely.
It's like a gestational tube. There is suspended in the liquid that is glowing green liquid a elongated humanoid.
Elongated.
Mm-hmm. Valymr, they look like Illithid.
Ah,
in these tubes.
Beautiful. Fun.
On each of these vats, you see a small screen as well that is just dispersing information.
On the vat itself. Okay, I'm gonna go over to one of the vats and read the informations.
Sorry, I'm moving you to not in between the lines.
Right.
The information, again, seems like very similar to what's on your wrist. Medical information. Specimen viability is like a key thing that is always held on the staff side. The rest of it is like a rotating readout of various things.
How many Illithid brain are we supposed to be getting?
How many are you supposed to be getting?
I don't remember being given a specific number. I know there was 20 potions that they had potentially to give out. We didn't even request 20. I think we requested 10.
Yeah, I think 10.
But I don't remember them telling us like how many potions there were to brains. But I think the idea was that we needed to replace an amount that basically made sure that the ones that we were taking would not go missing.
We also needed to take the heads like intact, right? To preserve the brain.
You could either... So you needed either a large amount of fluid or fewer intact brains.
It was either or.
But obviously the more resources you get, the better things might be.
Well, it's easy to think like an overachiever when, your resources are full and you just entered the place. We'll see how we feel, 2 encounters in.
Should we go check out this lab at the bottom then?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you see anything in here, Valymr, that looks like it might be a button to end this, I would keep an eye out for it. I don't know what they're doing here, but I don't think what they're doing here is good.
You also now see that there is a pump on each side, and that seems to be rotating this green liquid in and out of these vats. It's like there seems to be some ductwork that goes under the floor here, and it's all being cycled. Almost like, blood being pumped out an artery.
Zep would be fascinated by these pumps, I'm sure.
As equally, in part, curious as he is horrified, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Failing anything, we can just kick that a few times until it stops working.
Let's go check out this pump then.
Okay.
Oh, not the pump, sorry. Check out the lab.
As you guys begin to move towards the lab, jumping back to Ruby. Ruby, you're in the broken chapel. What would you like to do?
She cast Detect Magic.
Yes. There's nothing screaming magic.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing that's like pinging on Detect Magic. But in the same vein, you would be able to tell if this place was hallowed or unhallowed.
Yeah, I was just thinking that if there's reason this place is pleasantly regulated as far as temperature is concerned, there must be magic
You
somewhere.
think this is hallowed ground?
Ah. Okay, makes sense. Interesting, though. Is there anything on the altar?
No, it's... Well,
Lambert?
the top is completely bare, pretty much. There's one sort of marking on the sides as well. It's just a singular marking. And it's not even... Like, most of the sides are bare as well, but after you spend some time sort of looking around, you see just the corner of your eye. You don't know if it's intuition or something that just meant you saw it. You see a little feather. The tips of the feather that kind of just flickers out into embers, etched in stone on the bottom right corner.
I have a feather. I bought one a long time ago.
You do?
From a particular elephant shopkeeper somewhere. But it is a phoenix feather.
You do have
I
a
forget.
thing.
I do have a phoenix feather. She'll go into her bag of colding and hope it's still good. And set it down.
Onto the altar.
Mm-hmm.
As you do, the altar erupts very quickly in flame, but the feather remains intact. And once the fires die, you see, like, the top of the altar has lifted slightly, like unlatched, like it can be moved aside.
Is the feather still there, reclaimable?
Oh yeah,
or...
you can reclaim it.
Pull that off and set it down. All right, let's do some grave robbing.
You push the altar open, and before you see a ladder.
Start going down.
Sure. Climb down the ladder for probably about 50 feet. This is deep.
Mm-hmm.
Before you set down onto ground. It's dark and humid down here. The rock seems to be of a basalt. There's also like a layer of ash on the ground. But there also seems to be a pathway.
She'll bring up a little flicker of light so she can see better. What do you think, Soul? One walking.
Okay. You begin to descend. As you descend through the winding tunnels, the air begins to grow thick. It grows thick with like a heat and like an acrid scent of burning stone. You keep walking. You think if someone had less of a constitution, less of a heritage as you, this is the moment that the common man will begin to suffer as the sulfuric gases begin to etch at your throat. You walk further. The deeper you get, the walls begin to pulse with an eerie molten glow. Veins of liquid fire threading through the rock, like arteries of a slumbering leviathan. The deeper you go, the heavier the air becomes. Until, at last, the tunnel opens into a vast, cavernous chamber. Before you stretches an immense underground cathedral, its vaulted ceiling lost in swirling smoke, and there is a slow drip of what looks to be crystallized fire. The ground is fractured, but made of plain blackened obsidian. It is split by glowing fissures where rivers of magma churn sluggishly. They flicker shadows across this ruin. Roll me a perception check, please.
Eight.
Your eyes are adjusting to this vast space. You don't see anything like identifying right now. It's just a large cathedral hall. It's warm down here, hot down here.
Yeah.
Like, even you, someone so attuned to the flame, you're breaking a sweat.
Yeah, as she is walking forward, she is going to cast a spell upon herself. It's going to be Fire Shield under Extension.
Okay.
Extend spell. To help her with some of the fire problem. So she is now resistant to fire for 20 minutes.
Cool. Awesome.
I will cast that courtesy of the chalice at first level.
Oh yeah, because you've still got the
Yep.
spell level reduction ridiculousness. Full of about 1 more day, 2 more days.
Hey, you know what? I got it right now. I'm using it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Use power. There we go.
Sure.
Yeah, the wings are going to come out. She's going to descend down into the main foyer.
Yeah. As you do, there is some key features now that kind of come more into view. Right deep at the end of the cathedral chamber. It keeps breaking in and out of vision through smoke and haze. You see what looks to be a gigantic stone egg. You also pick up on a large blackened obsidian structure that looks newer than the rest of this place. It seems to be off to the right. Seems to be some sort of wall, freestanding wall.
Mm-hmm.
Also, architecturally, this place, like nothing you've seen.
Yeah, this is
old.
predates the Rian by a fair margin. This is pre-gods mostly. This is elemental era.
Possibly after that, it's somewhere in between. It's definitely War of the Heavens. Like this is similar sort of aging, you think, to the islands.
Oh boy. Go check out the wall first.
Sure. The wall, as you battle past the smoke, obviously you can navigate the magma pretty easily. This wall is actually several murals. Eight distinct panels carved right into the obsidian. Each has a name to the mural. which you can see is written in Infernal. So, not Infernal, the primordial fire. Which is it? What's the primordial fire language?
Ignan.
Sorry, there you are. That's right. Each is written in Ignan.
Which is weird because primordial is the like. If you speak them, you speak them all, but they all have their own language.
It's like the Scandinavian language splitting into Swedish and Danish and Norwegian, and
one could each
maybe
understand
Icelandic.
the other.
Yep.
Not really Icelandic.
The first one is called The Prophet's Vision. You see a gaunt figure, their skeletal frame wrapped in tattered robes of ash and flame, standing beneath a bleeding sun. Their arms are outstretched, their eyes hollow, yet burning with a divine fire, as a monstrous phoenix, its wings vast enough to eclipse the sky, manifests before them in a storm of cinders. The landscape around them is crumbling, cities being reduced to silhouettes of smoke. The second mural is titled The Gathering of the Faithful. You see a crowd of zealots kneeling before the prophet. Their faces are hidden behind masks of scorched bone. Some are clutching their own eyes, having gouged them out in devotion. Others hold out offerings. Above them, you see the prophet raising a chalice, overflowing with liquid fire.
Same one her father had.
The third mural is titled The Unshackling. The prophet stands atop a mountain of broken chains, their hands pressed against a colossal, burning symbol. Cracks are spreading from their fingertips, and behind the symbol, the monstrous form of Coloris begins to emerge, not as a noble phoenix, but as a screaming, shapeless inferno. The sky is a vortex of ash, and below, the land is a graveyard. The fourth mural is called The Sundering War. A celestial battlefield stretches across the stone. You see gods and primordial beings locked in a cataclysmic combat. At the center, you see Coloris. You see she is depicted in a storm of flame, her wings casting shadows that seem to burn the earth to glass around her. The land is reduced to ash, and even the mountains are melting like wax. The fifth mural is titled A Betrayal. You see a lone figure standing apart from what seems to be a group of the gods. Their coats are similar to that. Their cloak is similar to that of the first character. They kneel before a group of, again, what seem to be gods, offering a scroll, inscribed with glowing runes. The gods have various looks upon this individual, but one of them is extending a hand of acceptance. The sixth mural is titled The Forging of the Chains, which seems to show the gods and this character forging the chains in this colossal forge, which it seems are then tempered and carved. This character, this new character, their expression is somewhat unreadable, but in this image, you notice that they seem similar to that female figure that you saw on the mile markers and in the chapel. The 7th mural is titled The Imprisonment. It shows Chloris shrieking as the various characters drag her down to the earth. This new character is standing on the edge of a vast pit, their arms raised, with sorrowful eyes, but a subtle smile. Chains coil around Chloris, who is now in egg form, like serpents. Above, the sky is cracked, bleeding liquid fire. In the final mural, you see the subtitle being The Price Paid. The various entities that you might think are gods stand weary. There's few of them now. Some are missing. The individual that you identified, this new individual, they too are gone. Where they were standing, only a scorched silhouette remains. One entity holds a single feather, its edge still smouldering. The others turn away. You think there might be more to these murals, but that's what you get at first glance. I will give those to you. I'll give you those descriptions. I need to.
Thank you.
I need
Curate
to quickly
them.
go through and curate them slightly.
Okay.
But keep that in mind. Gents, jumping back to you very quickly. Ahead of you, you see this, again, this laboratory chamber. What you're looking through right now seems to be like a glass panel. And also, as you walked past that pool, you heard like a sloshing noise. But in front of you, as you look through the glass, there seems to be beakers, test tubes, vials, jars, some of which have brains in them. And there are, again, these lit candles in three significant, not braziers, what am I trying to say? Like hooded lanterns on the wall. And then to the left, so on the right-hand side of the image, left from where you're facing, you see what seems to be like a pump control mechanism.
But it isn't a door, it's like glass.
So you've got glass in front of you, and then there's a gap where there's a subtle step.
Okay.
You can get into down there if you wanted to, you think.
I'm gonna move in then.
Okay. You see another corridor as well. Now.
Whereabouts are these brains? Is that on the back wall?
Yeah, this whole lab has got a lot of like counters and stuff. Some of them are in jars there. There's also some brains that seem to be being dissected.
Oh yeah, fun.
There's also a big bin of what looks to be offal.
Does it smell?
No, there's like a bleach smell to this place.
I don't like this place at all. This is... Can I go around here and look at like the control panels and such? I assume it's controlled from the bottom side.
Before you do that, I'm just double checking. Brenton, do you want to move at all, or are you staying where you are?
Yeah, let's not split up. That's not a good idea. I think Breton is more just kind of. He is realized pretty quickly that this is something that is probably beyond his comprehension and the understanding. So he's just gonna like looking around like it doesn't look good, but he doesn't understand why it doesn't look good. Because I think that's just a little complicated. It's like a Neanderthal coming across a piece of alien tech, and it's just like, huh, shiny.
Yeah, that's fair.
I knew he was a meathead.
Is there any writing? Is there any stuff on the consoles in front of me that I can decipher?
There's so much writing. There's notebooks, logbooks, there's more of these interfaces. There's also what seems to be like panels and bands, like the one that you've got on, but like there's the thin sort of metal that seems to be carrying this light around seems to be broken. So now that you look at it, there is like an actual band within this thing that's hovering around your wrist.
If I put my hand through it, like it's incorporeal,
The band, no, it's physical. There's like the light and the information incorporeal, but there is actually in that a physical band that has now gone around you.
Breton, any chance you could help me try and take this off?
No.
I'm trying to pull it off, maybe.
I mean, can you not get it off yourself?
Is it tight? Can I just pull it off? Is
It
that
feels
possible?
like there's a gravitational pull to it. Make a strength or athletics check.
Yeah, I'm gonna need your help.
I don't know if there's a strength or athletics check involved. I might just pull your arm off.
It's not physically attached to his arm. It's like gravitying around it.
11.
Yeah, no. It's like a
Yeah,
toddler, it's like a toddler trying to pull apart.
It's slippy. I just can't. It's on my dominant hand.
If he pinches it, like just pulling up somebody's sleeve with just too much force, if he just pinches it and yanks it down, does it come off?
Well, Breton.
I'll roll your athletics.
Yeah, go for it.
Sure. I've rolled really poorly on these today. It's a 17.
Doesn't come off even with you pulling that strength. That quick sort of whoop. No, it feels like you need to put your back into this a little bit. Similar to the... Trying to pull it was similar to the unlocking of the door, though. You definitely think it's breakable.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if we want to remove it. Honestly, for all we know, I mean, it's just showing you like the condition your body's in. I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing. You know, it might be useful if something happens in here and I need to know at a glance whether or not you're dead.
But you can't read it.
It doesn't mean it won't be helpful.
Okay. So you begin reading... a lot of this seems to be research notes, a lot of scientific information that's spewed around. A lot of mentions of ceremorphic fluid, a lot of mentions of different specimens. You do find a panel that seems to be labeled hatchery conditions.
Okay. Don't want to. Is it like touchscreen or what kind of like panels are we talking here?
Might be a touchscreen. You haven't tried.
I'll touch it.
Okay. As you do, an alert comes up. It says, security clearance not high enough. User equals test subject.
Okay, I can you? This thing has just called me a test subject. I need this off now. I'm not. I need you to try again. Can I push with him? Can I try and push it off while he pulls off so I can give him advantage?
I would say that you can't because it's being pulled off of you. You're stabilizing yourself in a way that he won't break your arm.
Sure.
All right. No half-assing this. He's gonna wrap his fingers around the top of it and just yank this thing down. Give it the old college violent try, I guess. I don't know. Roll another athletics. That's a 24.
And it does, and then it shatters into as you pull it past his body. The screen fizzles out as well.
Thank you. Feel better with that. So yeah, this thing isn't giving access because I guess I don't have clearance. Can I touch it again now that I don't have the bangle on me?
Sure. It says unknown user, access denied. And you get a bleep.
Better to be a test subject than a nobody.
I don't know about that one. Okay. Well, I guess if I'm unknown, I'm not going to be able to make much use of any consoles and whatnots. And is there anything in here that looks like a off switch?
An off switch to what?
In general, anything that looks
That's really
important.
non-specific.
I know.
It's
And
like
I've
walking
already
into a
told
lab and saying, "Is there an off switch?" It's like,
There's like
yes.
30.
Which of the 2 dozen do you want to press?
I've said there
Okay.
is what seems to be like
All
a
of them.
pump
Just start
control
pressing
system
off
over
switches.
one side. You've got this this panel that seems to be talking about a hatchery. There's all sorts of scientific equipment and screens and things around.
The ones with the notes, the pads with the notes, are they written on
It seems to be like wax
paper?
Yeah, it seems to be like
Okay,
wax.
I'm gonna take it all and put it in a bag.
How big's your bag?
I'm gonna take a bunch of sheets and put it in my bag.
Okay. There's also a lot of scientific equipment around, like beakers, flasks, Bunsen burners, there's also like large syringes, there's vials, there's jars with unidentified brains in, with some of them say specimen X32, there's all sorts written about. What are you trying to work out, Valymr? Because just saying, is there this? There probably is.
Yeah.
But to what end is a very different question.
Yeah, it was mostly, is there anything that looks important enough that if I want to render this thing inoperable, this would be the best place to render said inoperability?
Make an intelligence check.
I'm very good at these.
It's not a great allegory, but imagine looking
11.
at a vacuum cleaner and asking yourself, "What's the best way to fuck this thing up?"
So,
11.
like I said, there's a large system that looks like the control panel to the large pumps in the other room. You know that there was access panels on each of the vats. You know that there is this seems to be hatchery controls, whatever that means. The rest all seem to be more like personal workstations or like screens, view screens, without
This is
knowing
like
too much.
kind of advanced tech screens. So like,
Yeah.
is there any like screens that I can remove from? Like, is there any like fucking iPads?
Nondescript data.
Are they all attached? Yeah. Are they all attached?
Give me your least favorite check. Give me an investigation check, please.
One.
No.
Well, you weren't wrong about his being least favorite.
You don't
As
find
he's
it.
doing this,
Sure.
Breton's still thinking about these. He's thinking about these pipes and everything's working. If he just takes a moment examining these pipes, he doesn't know anything about this future tech, but he does know nothing about construction.
Sure. Yeah.
He's a smith. Looking at the valves and such that seem to control the flow, can he get a feeling for what is denying flow versus what is like 100% flow?
Sure. Give me an advantaged intelligence check.
This might be where we use one of our first d12s. That's a 10. I'm going to roll a d12 and add to that, using one of Mother Splendor.
Oh, yeah. You went for...
It's only it's a 13.
Okay, 13. You feel like you can identify that this is a loop system. It goes in one side, out the other, almost like, again, the two generators in there seem to be more like lungs, and this is like a brain. And in fact, as you look at the construction of this interface in front of you, you look through like a vision panel. There is a brain floating in here.
Does it look to be
and then there is
like the brain on the table, or does it look more oblong like the creatures in the pods?
It's actually a really small brain. It looks to be from a small-sized humanoid creature.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then yes, there seems also to be like another like one of these touch screens.
Even if Breton did touch it, it wouldn't acknowledge him, and he wouldn't be able to read it if he tried. He turns back to Valymr. Yeah, if Zep was here, we might be able to figure this out, but I don't think this is really our specialty.
Zep would be in his element. He'd be very interested in these screens.
I mean, I could ask him a question, but the Sending Stones don't have unlimited access. Like, we couldn't just be I couldn't have him walk us through this, especially since I don't imagine he would be able to see what we're dealing with.
Yeah. Well,
we still got one hallway to make our way through. If there's nothing in there, then there's always Plan B. If it looks important, render it inoperable.
that we can certainly do. Alright, I guess move down
You would actually also have seen the far side of the circular room. There was a hallway going past one of those pump generators.
Okay.
Do we want to go back up towards that one, or continue on the one to our left?
We're already here. Let's see where left goes first.
Okay. Is this a step up again, or is this a
It's one
bar?
of those bar doors.
Does it have the same vibe as the one to the north, where it looked like it was locked with magic?
Yes.
I can probably open it with Dispel Magic. Although, just Misty stepping through would be cheaper. No, I'll use a 3rd level spell to Dispel Magic upon the door.
Sure. You do so.
I would say doing that as a warlock is probably the smarter bet, just in case we can take an hour and get those slots back.
Yeah. Then I will step to it and push it open with the tip of my glaive, see if it will open.
And it
that
goes,
way.
as you push the bars, it goes and just goes up into the ceiling.
Not
Seems
usually
to be
the
like
way
a
that I push
security door.
things. Okay, well, I guess I will step through.
Yep.
Does that look like a freaking waiting room, or?
In the corner of this room, you see an individual sort of huddled on a bench, facing the wall. Like, turned away.
How similarly did they look to the creature that we encountered outside?
About the same size.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some sort of... You think that maybe the thing outside was once something like this.
Do I recognize what this is?
Yeah, you do, without a check. This is a deep gnome.
I'm going to...
It might be aware of your presence, but it hasn't reacted to your presence.
I will say to it in Undercommon.
Mm-hmm.
You there. What are you waiting for? Looks like a waiting room. I thought it might be.
Okay. It begins to just speak a string of numbers at you, but it doesn't turn around.
And it's speaking these numbers in Undercommon?
Yes.
I think this one's lost its mind. It's just... all it's saying is numbers. I'll say to Breton.
It doesn't seem to acknowledge the fact that we're here either. We need to talk to somebody, and we're going to give this a shot. Breton's going to move up next to it, but not between the lines, just to hear. And Breton is just like pat him on the back a few times at the end of his hand. Anybody there?
As you pat him on the back, he grapples your arm, and he's just looking at you, saying these numbers now, like stone face, just repeating numbers, repeating numbers, repeating numbers. Valymr, you'd hear the numbers, obviously. It's going 8765, 8765, 8765, 8765, 8765, 8765, 8765, 876, just on repeat.
What do the numbers mean, Mason?
It's a combination lock to somewhere. It's a pretty shitty one. Does he have a metal band on his arm?
He does. It's yellow.
What? It's yellow. And what are his vitals?
Erratic. Give me a medicine check.
I think it's the first time I've ever rolled one of these. I'm pretty good at it. 16.
Well, it's kind of easy when you can read the language, and it's kind of really plain English telling you what it is. It gives a readout of who they're listed as. It gives you their heart rate, which is hitting something like 201 beats per minute.
So a cardiac arrest.
Yeah, they are.
He's a deep gnome. Smaller things have faster heartbeats.
They seem to be wounded in some way. But also you're getting a second heart rate. And you're also getting a second readout from them.
Is this deep gnome... does it look male or female?
Male.
Either this gnome is somehow pregnant, or there is another
87654.
How much do I-
87654. 87654. 87654.
That's an extra number.
It's counting down.
Well, I think he's just gone up by about 87,000, but...
And with that, we're going to go ahead and take our midpoint break here. So join us in 10 minutes' time, where we'll be back with more. Hey, come here a minute. Do you need royalty-free music for your TTRPG content, whether that be a YouTube video, stream, TikTok, Instagram post? Don't worry, we've got you covered. My name's Alex, I've been a content creator for almost a decade now, and I've teamed up with my good friend Harry to produce 10 royalty-free songs for you to use in your content completely for free. We've tried to make a whole range of motifs with this album, covering happy music to sad music, to mystery music to combat music. And if this takes off, you know what? We might even make some more. So give the Elendor Chronicles soundtrack Volume 1 a shot. It's free to stream everywhere, and if you want the high quality downloads, you can come over to our Patreon and download them, or you can contact me directly at tabletop@themidgemansworld.co.uk as a creator, and I'll just give it to you for free. That's it, there's no catch, and just to prove it, we've also given you guys a user license agreement to prove that you have the complete perpetual rights to use this content. So enjoy, and good luck on your next adventure. Oh, good day. I'm Martin Sanderson, and I'm the CEO of Avari Military Solutions. We here at Avari know that it doesn't take much to cause problems out on the frontier, whether that be from local pirate raids, neighboring interstellar powers, or even just an unhappy populace with unreasonable demands. Just what is a small to mid-sized regional power to do when faced with these problems? You look to Avari for your solutions. With open-ended contracts, well-trained personnel, state-of-the-art aerospace forces, and competitive rates, we stand ready to help find the right solution to your problem. So if you have a problem, why not call Avari for your solution? Our operators are waiting to take your call, and consultations are free of charge.
Avari Military Solutions, a solution for your problem.
Avari Military Solutions is not licensed to operate within the Kark and Trade Baronies, the Andes Corps, or any Class A combat zones. AMS is a subsidiary of Omni Radiance Holdings, a family company.
When is a story more than a story? When a tale is more than words on paper? When is an ad more than the script it's written on? In the darkest and deepest annals of our own history, worlds of wonder and splendor burst through like a blister made of hope. From the brain that's wrestled and riddled with madness, a radiant pustule. Writing, art, that's storytelling. That is the true lust of life. You too can dutifully indulge in art. Like fans of the greats. Shakespeare, King, Tolkien, Seuss, Mercer. You too can indulge through Twitch Prime. Get an extended access to a wealth of knowledge with a simple click, an emotion so small that it could endlessly amount possibilities. Embrace those feelings. Support art. Support the component cast. So, jumping back quickly now across the continent to Ruby. Ruby, you see these large murals in front of you. There is definitely more to them.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to investigate them more? Or would you like to look around a bit more?
She's still investigating them, reading.
Sure.
Near as
Also,
we
just
can
to
tell,
give you a scale of size, each of these murals are about 20 foot by 20 foot. This is a
Jesus
big,
Christ.
this is like a wall.
really big room, yeah.
Oh yeah, the room is massive.
Fit the entire Cathedral of Ascension in here, it feels like.
It's about the same scale as the Cathedral of Ascension.
Yeah. This feels an awful lot like what happened to Dolores. The story of it, how she went and destroyed things and how she was sealed away, the cult that followed her. Reads everything correctly with what I know of her so far. Funny how I can go 2,000 years and get the bloody Rhiannon history wrong, but 2,000 years later, she reads the same for Dolores, no deviation there. Gonna keep following the literary path.
Sure. Which mural would you like to focus on?
Let's look at the first.
Sure.
Because near as Ruby can tell, the representing here, or the theme, I guess, is Revelation and Apocalypse. Prophet figures out something is about to happen, or is a herald of it. I'm not really sure which.
Mm-hmm. Give me either a religion or a history check.
I know what I'm doing there. Ha! 23.
Okay. From what you can see here, and from what little of your father's writings you came across in the end, this individual might be what was known as an ash seer. They were a somewhat fabled-ish member. Like it later became kind of like a role of high priest within the cult. But originally, they were said to be able to foretell when Dolores was going to begin her renewal cycle and end existence.
More like an oracle or a prophet than an actual...
Yes.
Okay. The second one is straight up... Oh, sorry.
So, like, the idea is, they could basically say no, like, down to the day of when the Dolores would hatch again.
And the second one is straight from what she remembers of her father trying. Sacrificing a child, offerings, divine communion with destructive power using chalices.
Yeah, as you look also at the prophet in the first first mural, their face is eerily serene. They seem like joyed even as the world burns around them. There's something humming at you, and I need a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, I need to lower that. Sorry, I'm not surrounded by friends.
Yeah, no paladins to save you now.
Oh, it's locked. She is only +1 without paladins around to save me. Ha-ha! 22, natural 20.
You managed to shake off this feeling.
What feeling?
It felt like an echo.
I don't know what that means. I'm sorry.
Like, you felt like something was going to be reaching out to you.
If you're going to talk, we can have a conversation in normal people terms. I'm not for the whole consuming the mind thing.
Which mirror would you like to focus on now?
Second one looks just like what she remembers from her father. Basically, that's tit for tat for what he tried to do with her when she escaped.
Mm-hmm. There are more details to each one, I will say, than the surface. So you will still be able to pull things from studying, but I understand if you want to skip.
No, she wants. If she's going to do this, she's going to learn.
Sure.
Focus on the second one.
Because there's so much going on in this one, give me a perception check.
Three. Sorry, I don't have proficiency in perception.
You do pick something up. The chalice bears the same symbol as the one your father had.
I broke that one.
You did indeed.
Alright, that's familiar. Probably never found out what the purpose of it was. Other than communion? Was he trying to talk to Caloris or infuse the power? That's the part she couldn't get. Because she got her blood power from somewhere, but doesn't know if it came from the ritual or if it came from Dad. Porque no los dos.
Okay. Going for third?
Third, yeah.
Okay.
The Prophet tried to free Caloris. It broke everything to do it, though.
The thing that really leaps out to you right now is actually the way and the shape that the fire is moving on this one. Give me an Arcana check. Those I know you can do, so...
19.
DC 18. The way that the fire moves, there is... And it's also thinking back to that the almost vortex of flame that your father unleashed on you in that combat. And what you're seeing. It's that, but almost personified in fire magic.
Mm-hmm.
Advance one extra track on your study towards your spell.
Yeah.
The other thing that you notice, because I will allow you to pick up the extra details now that you've done the successful check for this mural, the Prophet's mouth seems to be open in a silent scream, as their body is half consumed by the same fire that they unleashed.
3 out of 10 for DSCRA. I'm sorry, could you please repeat that?
Yeah, the Prophet, the Ash Seer, who unleashed Caloris in this image. Their mouth is open in a silent scream, with their body being consumed by the same fire. Also, I need you to make a charisma saving throw, please.
18.
You again feel, this time a magical essence be shrugged off.
She's gonna cast Detect Magic. Again.
Okay. This wall is definitely magical.
Yeah. Abjuration.
Various forms of magic.
Warded, that's for sure. Reading. Oh well. Moving on to the fourth mural, a Sundering War. Caloris goes crazy, starts breaking stuff, everybody hates it.
The motifs of this feels very much like the War for the Heavens, or at least a period within. I'm gonna need a religion check from this one to be able to recognize some of the beings.
11.
You see a couple of the key 9 lights here, for sure. These gods seem to be depicted in some of like their mightiest forms, are like very similar to any of the religious works you see in the War of the Heavens. The one thing that you do pick up on here, though, some of these gods are shown with like radiance around them, others with like wisps of shadow.
They work together against her.
And all of the gods seem to have an element of fear about them. You also feel like an unnatural, from the magical residue here, you feel a bigger surge of heat. Almost like a warm flash over. It doesn't do any damage, but it's enough to make you go, oh! Like, you know the same feeling when you like leave an air-conned room out into the heat?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of that.
My glasses go.
Yeah, yes.
It's a good thing I've got Fire Shield on.
Mm-hmm.
All
Might
right.
well be.
And this same prophet betrays her. And the gods were hesitant to trust her because she's the one who released her, but she sealed her back up.
So, the one thing I will say, it looks to be a different individual.
Interesting.
Their coat is the same as the previous prophet. But the other visage was quite clearly a man.
Mm-hmm.
This one seems to be a woman.
The same one from upstairs.
Yes.
Okay.
Make a perception check with this one.
$16.
Thanks to some of the etching into the obsidian, there's no real like color standouts. It's all mostly done with like extenuating carving and like different patterns that's giving the ideas of this, a lot of this. Like, it's almost like they're shading the obsidian to give different hues. Almost like a charcoal drawing.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of style of depth of black and dark and shading. Something that you notice, they've really gone into detail about. This new prophet, this new Ashseer, the one that's betraying, their hands are completely burnt. With their flesh being like probably the blackest part of this particular mural. It's almost as though they've tried to grasp Caloris's flames. But not. You also get a faint whisper from an ethereal voice. It reaches out to you, and you just hear the line, "Even the faithful can break."
Okay. Any idea of where that voice came from? Looks around.
No, it was almost carried by the hiss of steam and smoke from the magma
Okay.
cores.
Sound like anybody familiar? Okay.
No. There was a femininity to it, though.
Sure. I suppose next it's the 6th mural.
Okay. As you examine this further, you are getting another sense of something like you're looking at this and you're seeing like a forge,
Yeah.
and other elements like that. But there's something arcanical to the technology, and in the same way that there is with when you've spent enough time with the Iron Dude, you can kind of follow some of his processes because of the arcana related to it. So I'm going to allow an arcana check here.
I'm going to re-roll that.
What, with your inspiration?
Yeah. 25.
25. So, you notice that there are some, in like the details of this egg being chained up, and these runes being written with these celestial runes, these entities, you notice that you start to recognize some of the gods as well. You see that luster seems to temper these chains in the heart of a dying star. You see that it's an image of Indar, the Thundersmith, carving the final sigils of the binding, and that this new prophet is watching. But the other thing that you pick up from this, the way that some of the clues from the magic symbols, from the script that they're writing, and what's being carved into this intricately, that these chains are not just like metal, but they're being forged from some of the gods' own essences, some of the gods' blood, their features, their like some of them like their vows. It's like drawing from their life essence. You also get a smell overtaking you of like pure burning ozone as well as iron. And you also see within these chains, as they forge them, you're seeing names.
Names I recognize?
No. None of them seem to be ones you recognize. You would guess that these might be entities forgotten.
The egg.
The egg. Give me a perception check for the imprisonment one.
4. Stop asking me to look at things!
Sorry, it's a big mural.
I know. Look, I'm colorblind, kid.
You notice that Caloris, the image Caloris, seems to be almost ignoring all of the gods. They are transfixed on this betrayal. More so than anything.
Who is she to you? And the final price paid.
With the previous one,
Okay.
you also notice that there seems to be an inscription in the lower part of the image, but you can't make it out.
Can I jot down the symbology to it?
No, it's eroded, and you're having a real hard time to try and to work out what it's saying.
Damn you, Valymr! I need your eyes! I don't think I could do anything about that. No, I don't have any magic that lets me read all languages.
It's not that you don't understand the language, it's damage.
Damaged? Okay. Alright.
It's damaged and beyond comprehension for you right now.
Well, she'll try to write down what she can for it.
Sure.
Charcoal it. And then to the final.
Okay. There's a little bit of an obscure like religious iconography here.
Mm-hmm.
I will allow an investigation or religion check at a DC of 18 or a history check at a DC of 22.
Still history.
Yep.
Nah, sorry.
You do still pick some things up that weren't like in the original description. The feather, the still smoldering feather, does seem to be a phoenix feather. Similar to the one that you have, not the same.
Mm.
And you do get that it seems that some of the entities here were consumed by the ritual. People gave their lives. People, gods, whoever's being depicted in this image, gave their lives to make sure that this happened.
Okay.
That's what you get.
She's gonna turn around and look at the massive egg.
It's still far away and quite hard to see because this room's hazy, smoky.
Yeah.
Give me a quick perception check, please. I know you're not very good, but
I see nothing. 13.
no, it's true. You don't see anything, but you do hear something. You hear a humming, like a singing. Female voice. Just singing in the distance. Just subtly echoing over the hisses and gloops of lava and gas.
Do I recognize the tune?
Make an at advantage history check.
17.
It seems to be a lullaby that you kind of remember from your childhood.
As she hears the hum, Ruby will sing the words. In tune.
Sure.
I have performance. I can do that, Mitch.
Go for a performance check. Go for it.
It's not going to be good, but I can. 13.
Okay. You start singing back. It seems to be coming from towards where the egg is.
Walking towards it.
Okay. Jumping back to our laboratory explorers.
Yes.
87654, 87654, 87654. What are you doing?
Either he is... There is 2 heartbeats in him, and I would know a little bit about Illithids considering where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
Could I make the guess that the other heartbeat is Illithid worm in head?
It might be.
I think he's infected, and he will be an Illithid before too long. And I can't help him with that.
Okay. What are you intending to do?
I'll try and get through to him again and say, Where are the physicians? In Undercommon.
Make a persuasion check.
$25.
87654, 87654, stasis, 87654, 87654.
What happens if I say in Undercommon 87654?
87654.
Is that how long you've got until you turn?
87654, 87654, 87653, 87653, 87653.
I mean, it definitely feels like a countdown of sorts. I don't know.
So just he said stasis. He did say that as a different word.
I think the physicians here are in stasis somewhere. Either they're the ones that are in those pods in the main circular room.
Well, there's another place near the stasis. We haven't been everywhere yet. What are we gonna do about him, Valymr?
I don't.
You're the expert here. I don't know what's going on.
This is beyond anything I've experienced. It could be his arm says there are 2 life forms within him. He's counting down. It very much could be until he turns into Illithid.
Breton's been spending the past day and a half reading all about a book about illithids and stuff like that. Presumably there was a chapter in there somewhere of symptoms of somebody who was getting close to turning or undergoing ceramorphosis. If Breton just gives this guy a once-over, like, does it seem like this guy is undergoing through the early symptoms of this?
Give me a medicine check.
Skins are clammy, eyes are dilated, all that complicated stuff. I'm gonna trust a 13 will be enough.
He looks really, really sick. He's sweating bullets. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, bullets exist in this. I was like, hang on, they don't exist. No, they definitely do. You've had guns.
He's sweating cartridges.
He's sweating. He's sweating Legeron's Lander ammo. He's doesn't have the same ring to it. His heart rate is climbing on his wrist. Whether it's ceramorphosis, you're not sure, but something is happening.
I think that after seeing the creature outside and this guy and the clear agony that he is, and knowing that these mind flayers have experimented with transforming creatures into other creatures, I hate to say it, I think Breton's gonna believe it goes into the mentality of these things transform. It is an unpleasant experience to say the least. Better to end their suffering when it's fresh. I think Breton is just gonna grab this guy by the top of the head and he's not grabbing it aggressively. He's gonna just basically secure the back of his head. He's gonna take his dagger and just straight through the front of the throat with his swingable dagger. Alrighty, I don't have a dagger attack.
Better drag a dagger quickly into...
Okay. 1 second. Fantasy Grounds is still going really slow for me. Okay, that's not working.
So roll a d20 plus your attack modifier.
Yeah, so let's just make a strength check. +5. It's a 15.
That hits.
The damage on that is a d4 plus.
Yeah, it's negligible.
4.
He has 3 hit points, so you and you see a flat line on the wrist. The other entity is still alive, but it looks like it's taken a little bit of damage. As Breton, as you feel this man's skull, as you grab his head to plunge the dagger through, you feel his brain writhing around. From inside.
I think it's gonna take more
his
than a
head.
knife.
Yeah, it's like Brent's just gonna like, well, he's dead, but not everything's dead. Poor bastard.
I don't suppose this is going to take too long, but I will get you guys now to roll initiative. As Breton, you see it clean as day now. This man's head and forehead, like the bone erupts as clawed hands begin to carve their way out. And an intellect devourer bursts forth.
Yep, still have that. Good to know.
But I've only got an intelligence of 11. He's gonna ignore me.
Valmyr's still gonna go first because he gets my proficiency.
True. What do I know about intellect devourers?
They're intelligent brains that walk on all fours and eat people's brains.
They
So
devour intellect.
I know of them. They're not completely new to me.
Oh yeah, no, it's not
It's really
completely-
self-explanatory. They devour intellect. It's right in the name.
Mm-hmm. Well, it didn't pop out of his dude's skull saying, "Hi, I'm an intellect devourer."
Just the clippy pop up. Valymr, then.
It looks
he's
like
trying
you're
to
trying
take
to
over the
fight an
human
intellect
race.
devourer. Would you like to cast Eldritch Blast? Yes. Yes, I would.
Valymr, apparently you're going first.
Yeah. My initiative gets bonuses from Breton. So yeah, I'm gonna throw a Eldritch Blast his way. And because I have the medallion of ultimate goodness, I actually get an extra +2 to this. So that's a dirty 20 on a roll of 4.
Nice.
Yeah. And
What's giving you a +16 there? On Eldritch
honestly,
Blast?
I've no idea.
I don't think it should be quite that high. It should be your charisma modifier +2. Which I don't think is 16.
No, you're right. That does sound. I have no idea why I have a 16. I don't know how game. Because it's 5 from charisma, then 5 from proficiency.
I don't think you... Do you add your proficiency to Eldritch Blast?
Yeah. That's 5, 5, and 2, so what's giving you the extra 4?
I might have had an item before. Yeah, okay. My apologies. Take away 4 from that. 16 to hit.
Still
I don't know why I
hits.
put that at 6. Still hits. Okay, good. Is that maybe when I was casting through the Spelllock Gauntlet? Was that what that did? I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah, so
damage.
you've got 2 Eldritch Blasts in your infantry. One is +16 and one is +12.
Yes.
Is the other one for when, say, you've got it, like...
The
Hexblade's
second one does
Cursed or something?
two. It might be that. It also has 2d10 force, so I think that was the one that I had the Spelllock Gauntlet equipped as well. Alright, well, that is some damage then. 12 damage. And then second blast is 29 to hit.
That hits.
And 6 damage. And then the final Eldritch Blast is
You aren't targeting the creature.
27. Oh, for fuck's sake. I am not. That's true. I apologize. And then a further 8 damage.
Okay. The intellect devourer that's just spawned out of this man's head, it claws out of the guy's brain, leaps into the air, and you boom, boom, boom. It explodes over the back wall and dies.
Okay, well, that was...
You are now out of combat.
Okay, that was a bit scary.
Well, so that was one of the brains that we could have taken back intact.
I don't know. But it would have tried to kill us if we didn't.
You would
attack it.
know that an intellect devourer wouldn't count as a brain in this case, but you might be able to get some fluid from the...
The fluid is all over the back wall.
Yeah, exactly, if you want to go scrape it off.
Well, I think we press on and try and explore more of this place that we're in.
All right.
I'm gonna move forward.
This,
Stairs.
This looks to be another staircase up.
Up.
Yes.
Okay. Do we want to stay on this floor for and check the corridor past the pump, or do we want to go up the stairs now?
You got to clear every floor before you move on. You
Yep.
can't just leave that there.
That's fair. Okay. I'll take the trek to here over the next few rounds then.
Again, it's one of those barred doors.
Is there a place to place your hand near it?
No. You get the impression
I
these are
guess.
automatic. Inside.
If I step up to it, what happens?
There is a door in front of you.
Presumably, you removed your key card.
My keycard said that I was a test subject. I don't know if they have much better access than nobody. What happens if I touch the door?
Okay.
Your hand is cold.
What's your AC?
19?
Okay. You take 8 points of lightning damage as you're shocked.
Oh, fun. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to spend the magic then. I will do another Dispel Magic.
Okay. You do so. And you go, like, you nudge the door again. And, goes up into the ceiling.
Alright, get to the end of the corridor. I guess there's nothing to it but keep moving along.
What initially looks like a wall, in front of you, Valymr, you see a secret door.
Any handle or way to open?
Not that you can tell directly.
There's another secret door here. Or hidden doorway. I don't see a place to put your hand though, like the one on the outside. Can I look around this thing? Is there any, like, do a closer look?
Give me an investigation check.
Two.
You begin to investigate as you simply fall through the wall.
I simply fall through the wall.
Yep. Although it is not letting me, the GM, do that. There we go.
I'll call back to Breton. The wall you see is just an illusion. You can pass through it.
I gathered that.
Okay. I think immediately I'll go over to the desk and see what I can see at the desk.
Sure. Yeah, this room looks to be a bedroom.
Gathered that part.
Valymr,
Yes.
you would know that mind flayers do not sleep. They do not require humanoid comforts.
This is weird. Mind flayers, they don't sleep. They don't have beds and desks and was that a bathroom? This is odd. This is
Freestanding copper bath in there.
this looks like maybe prison, or like a noble prison. I'll go over to the desk and see if there's anything paper-wise on there.
Sure. You don't see a paper. You do, however, as you root through the drawers, you come across another one of those bands. It's a slightly different color.
What color is this one?
The previous ones were like silvered. This one seems to be gold.
Another one of these bands that probably has a little bit more access than the last one.
You okay to wear this one?
The other one said I was a test subject. That's a little too... I'll slip it on.
Okay.
I trust that you'll be able to get this off me as well if need be, so...
Valymr, you hear a voice in your head.
If I choose to.
If you
Ring
choose
a
to.
mountain.
Shit,
I will choose to accept the voice if I can.
Hello, Overseer. Welcome to your newfound position. Please wait as we calibrate to your cerebral cortex.
Like I just joined a Fallout game. Okay, so this bangle is for the Overseer. I think we go full access. It's calibrating.
While that's going on, Bray's just gonna like make his way over here to like this closet, this desk, whatever this boudoir, whatever this is.
Yeah, it
and
looks
just
to
start
be,
like
it looks to be,
pulling doors open, looking around, snooping.
it seems to be like a dressing table, with a stool. The stool as well. It's one of those stools that has like an opening in it, like you can lift the seat. And then as you maneuver stuff around, it's being used as a dressing table. But as you move things around, this looks to be like a harpsichord. And actually, in the seat, you see sheet music.
Yeah, this wasn't a prison. This was a private dwelling of whoever was the head honcho in charge here.
Yeah, definitely. Is that a door on the left or no?
There is a door on the left-hand side. There is actually also on the right-hand wall one of those panels.
I will place my hand on the panel on the right.
You
Assume
gonna
that's
walk over to
this.
it? Yeah. You press your hand towards the screen, and the same sort of loading bar appears, like that transform from around your, like sort of transfers to the screen, and it says, "Loading new personal details. Please wait." And then it brings you to a screen where it just says, "Please enter your name."
I mean, what the hell? What's the worst that could happen? I'll put my name in.
Valymr Kensek. Valymr Kensek accepted. Cerebral match complete.
I'm glad I didn't do a fucking false name.
So, the gnome said that the Illithid were in stasis. And this room
Yes.
suggests that whoever was in charge of this operation was not an Illithid.
Yes.
I think that's pointing some pretty aggressive fingers at... I think your people might be farming these things.
Oh, I know they are, but not in this way.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, can I do a historical insight check to see if I... Oh.
I'll allow you to do an
Can.
insight check, but it'll be a high DC.
Here we go.
Because memory
Man.
is never perfect.
He has overseer
23?
access to the mainframe. Can he just do a Google search?
I mean, yeah, you can try that. 23.
Do I think that this could be my people?
You
What was the
wouldn't,
name of the previous overseer?
you wouldn't put it past some people of your ilk. Less in the recent years, though. The Drow Society has gone through some very heavy reforms over the years.
Yeah, but this is all we've seen here is fresh, right? That
And-
gnome was just about to turn.
And
That
you
that
know,
torch
for,
was just.
you know that some people are, you've definitely known that hives have been destroyed. Like they are kind of a plague on your lands. Like it's not something that. Put it this way: if this is happening under like someone in your courts say so, this is being kept hidden from everyone.
What is this panel in front of me saying now?
It's really peculiar to you, but it seems to be some sort of like index, like a book, but you can scroll through it and touch screen.
Is there dates?
No, but there's a category that says logs, experiments, personnel, prisoners, shipment. Personnel. Okay. A lot of the information reports as damaged.
Most people are damaged.
But there is a couple of names that still remain. They seem to be overseer names.
Are either Other than me, are either of them Kenseks?
Yes.
Okay. What are their names?
The inputted names. There's only one other Kensek. The other person, the other name doesn't seem to be a Kensek. The name that isn't a Kensek is Overseer Nendra Nareth. The Kensek name, we've lost Lake. The Kensek name is Valneth.
Valneth. Obviously, I know my own family tree. Do I recognize Valneth Kensek?
Yes. Valneth Kensek would be a great grandparent of yours.
That could be like 300, 500 years, technically. Or more, I don't fucking know.
As you scroll this, a notification pops up. On the bottom right. It says, no tadpole detected. Please report to the laboratory. Or the hatchery.
It wants me to put a tadpole in. Can I click on the notification? Or click? Can I put my hand on the notification? Tap it?
You tap it. There's haptic feedback.
Is there like a back button?
You look around. Give me I'll allow wisdom. Or intel.
Cool. Do I want a +0 or a +0? 9.
Yeah, you find what you think. After a couple of buttons, like, you also find out that you can kind of go deeper into the profiles.
Oh, yeah, no. Click on Valneth's profile.
You click on Valymr's profile. You get their name, their age upon becoming overseer, the name of the tadpole they received, and then what seems to be a self-inserted log of their powers. And then the day they died.
What is the day they died?
It would amount to about 200 years ago.
Okay. And is that the latest, or are there like damaged logs after that?
There's 2 damaged logs after that.
Okay.
There's something that you notice when people become overseer. They seem to be overseer for about 7 years.
Then they become. Okay.
And the
can
last,
I go?
The last overseer, would have been about. It seems to be about 60 years ago.
This place has been put into stasis for the last 60 years. Does this bed look like it was last used 60 years ago?
No.
Can I go into the log?
Yeah.
And what is the most recent entry?
The most recent entry seems to be from a redacted user. Talking about putting the laboratory into like a power saving mode. What they've called extended gestation, where it keeps vital power to only the hatchery and to keep the specimens in stasis. With then manual controls being utilized on, it seems, each of the tanks. What you think they're referring to the tanks? It seems someone is complaining about the lack of staff and having to essentially slow production and manually keep things going. They've had to work silently since the last accidental outbreak.
Okay, and how long ago was this log?
It uses Underdark dating, but you would know that. Converting it to now, probably a year ago.
Okay. What were the other main categories? Logs, personnel?
Logs, research. Then there was like prisoners.
Can I look into prisoners?
Sure. It seems to be, again, a list of files.
Okay. Are there any that say if they're like deceased, or is it just like a bunch of names?
It seems to be more like shipment orders.
Does it say where these shipments are coming from?
Yes, some of them. You would notice that some of the names are like local villages. Some of them are like towns, a day or two's ride. Some of them are like Duragar settlements. Some of them are. The most recent thing is what is classed as a shipment of deep gnomes. They came in about a week ago.
A week ago?
Mm-hmm.
How many deep gnomes?
7.
Okay. And then finally, I'll look at the research.
Into the research, it has a bit different. So there is, again, like folders of logs, but there's also active monitoring as an option.
Can I look at the active monitoring?
Sure. In the active monitoring, it gives you the same wristband readouts or screen readouts of all of the tanks and active wristbands in the facility.
How many active wristbands are there?
3.
And what tier of wristband are they?
2 gold, 1 silver.
2 gold being overseer, or gold being employed kind of thing.
And then
isn't the
there's
one I've got
tanks.
gold?
Yep. You can't
That just
really.
might be like guards.
Might be. There's at least one other person wearing a staff wristband, you assume.
Okay. And then if I look at the vital signs and all that of that other staff, what are they? What bloodline? You said that this one showed me that I was Drow and Infernal. What is this one?
This says uplifted.
Okay, there is one illithid in here then, I think. I will pass that information on to Breton, who has not rejoined us yet, has he? Oh, he has.
I'm here. My camera won't turn on. So I'm going to have to be sans camera. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. I'll pass over all of that information on to Breton. So yeah, there's one staff member that I think is illithid, and there is a... What the other one said? It was prisoner?
Yes.
And a
Well,
prisoner that is.
There's 1 silver, 2 gold, 1 silver. You don't know
Okay.
what
Oh,
they
what's
mean.
what is the other gold then? If gold is staff, there's 1 uplifted, and what's the other?
No, you're the other one.
Oh, I'm the. Oh, right, of course, I didn't count me. And the silver is what species is it?
It gives you the readout again, deep gnome.
And is there 2 heartbeats in there?
Seems only 1 for this one.
Okay.
And then you have the 8 tanks.
And the 8 tanks, what? They're all say uplifted as well.
No. They say gestating. There's a lot more information in all of these. There's because there's the readout of percentage uplifted.
How close are all of them to 100?
One of them is on 97%.
Okay. Is there an estimated time of completion?
Yes, but it's in a numbering system that you're not familiar with.
87543. All right. I'll come away from the console then.
Okay.
And you find anything in the drawers there?
Apparently, this individual enjoyed music.
Fair. Is that what's that at the foot of the bed?
It's a chest. Footlocker.
Can I open the footlocker
It is locked.
with a padlock?
With a standard key lock.
I don't suppose you found any keys in there?
Breton will make a show of patting down the inside of the openable stool.
Bedside table as well, maybe. We can look. See if there's a key in the bedside table.
Key in the bedside table. Both of you make an investigation check of the room.
Eight.
6.
It takes you a little while. But you eventually find a key taped to the bottom of the writing desk.
Okay. Can I take the key and put it in the footlocker and see if it turns?
It does.
I would like to open and see what's in the footlocker.
Okay. Seems to be clothes. A lot of it. It's personal effects. Do come across a diary.
Taking. I'm just gonna flip.
There's also about 20 platinum trade bars.
Trade bars.
Yes,
Those are worth more, right?
correct. 10 each. So a
platinum.
bar is 10 platinum. And there's 20 of those.
Okay. That's basically 150 platinum.
There's 20 bars. Each of those are worth
Okay.
10 platinum. 10 platinum's worth 100 gold, so there's 2,000 gold.
Okay. Look.
I'm
Maths
not
is
sure
fun.
where you got 150.
I don't
Where'd you
know
get the
either.
0.5 from? It's just
I don't
it's
know.
10 times 20.
Mathematicians for the ages will wonder how Valymr managed to get 15 out of 2 times 10.
Yeah.
I heard a 15 somewhere. Okay. Well, obviously, we'll take those.
Sure.
And okay. Should we see what's through this door on the other side?
Everything that's here, we shouldn't leave any stones unturned. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Okay. You're both going towards the door?
Yeah. and I will attempt the handle.
Okay. You can open it with your overseer abilities. And in front of you, you see a hooded figure. Tentacles maneuvering from the mouth. And I'm going to need you both to roll initiative. In the meantime, Ruby, as you move back again now towards the egg, you see a subtle light blue, almost white, but blue light at the foot of the egg. It seems to be where the singing is coming from. And as you approach the somewhat smouldering chains that are binding the egg of Chloris, the air around you shimmering again with this oppressive heat, the voices just cutting through. It's soft, mournful, but yet impossibly clear as it cuts through the furnace blast winds that are caking this place in just utter dismal noise. But this voice is clear, like water flowing over scorched stone. You see a spectral woman kneeling beside the chains. Her form is wispy and translucent, and she's woven from a pale blue mist and flickering embers. Her hands press against the searing metal, and where her fingers touch, the glow dims to a dull red rather than this lava-wrapped iron. Steam rises as she sings, a wordless but kind of haunting melody. But it seems to pull the heat itself from the air. This form is familiar. She acknowledges you but keeps singing, just humming that tune. Make a perception check.
13.
Her form is not fully, alive nor dead. She's clearly something in between. More to... kind of looks like a spiritual guardian. The same sort of amorphous form that those take, or a spiritual weapon. Like, you've seen cleric spells before, and you know when you were bound with soul that it empowered you with cleric-like abilities. She's kind of taking that. And also the edges of her, still flicker with fire, and create, they kind of blur her like smoke in an updraft. You got a 13. Perfect. As you hear the lullaby, you hear another voice carried through Soul's humming. One far more ancient. It's a language that you don't comprehend, and as you look at the chains, you notice again, like in the murals, there's writing, but there's also these runes. And as the vocalization comes out, you see every now and then some of the chains, like some of the runes on various other of the chains, which, by the way, as a note, some of which are broken. Some of the chains glow blue for a second and sizzle and then come back to their fire. This voice is much older, but there's also a familiarity to it to you. You're not sure where. You can't quite place it. It seems this essence of soul seems to be doing some sort of cooling ritual, trying to control and temper the elemental fire here.
Rose is going to sit down next to her. How's it working with her?
She looks to you. She's still humming the tune and just kind of... Give me an insight check.
That's a natural one.
It's hard to tell. You do get the impression that Sol does not want to break from this...
Yeah.
Almost chanting. There is a sorrowful look to Sol. But you know Sol like you know yourself. She was once part of you. She is an essence of you, just in a different light. Sol carries that determination that you do. That force of will. She seems to be holding back something way, to use a colloquial sentencing, way beyond her pay grade. But the amount of effort that she's giving, she's cutting through the normal defines of magic and creating something truly unique that is helping. As per your last request. That moment, that energy you used and released into the world, defeating the avatar of Coloris, the insidious fire trapped within your broken soul. When you cast that away, you cast out the same power that Brayla gave you, creating an essence of soul. And you gave it that one directive. Do what you can. And you get the impression that's what she's doing.
Ruby will look up to the egg again and very sadly will say, I don't want to be the person who releases one apocalypse to save another, but I am rapidly running out of options, and the end has come. Can I speak to her?
Are you looking to talk to Coloris?
Yes.
Okay. Sol pauses her singing. I can give you but moments before I have to continue, lest the ritual will be lost and the damage irrevocable.
How long?
Not long.
I'll take what I can get.
She pauses her singing, and the ice-like blue, cooling mist that she produces relents, and the chains roar as an inferno again. The egg itself begins to shake the chains, still unable to break out.
Ruby's gonna take a hand and put it on the egg.
Sure. The egg is warm. It's warm like the fire within yourself, but more like that energy that you cast out.
Coloris, calm thy rage and speak. We must converse.
You can't.
Wrong one, sorry.
Ah, I lost it!
Sorry. So sorry. That was the... it was...
Glorious is actually a helium monster. Sorry.
Weren't you told?
Give me 2 seconds here. I gotta. That should have been the right button, but it didn't. It didn't. Okay. This still isn't going to be completely correct. But the technical difficulty here is apparently my mixer has got a firmware update and it won't let me get into the settings, which is probably what has screwed the other thing. So enjoy the shape changer voice.
Speak, betrayer. Speak.
I know of our story. I know what happened to you. I'm offering you a bargain. A chance. This is your world as much as it is ours. And though you brought it incredible suffering and immense destruction, it needs you. The forces of beyond have arrived. Dragons rule the skies again. Demons roam the lands and undead are swarming everywhere. This world cannot stand alone. So here is my bargain to you, Caloris. Bind yourself to soul again, truthfully and faithfully. Be better than you ever have been, and live for this world instead of destroying it, and I will break your bonds.
Child, don't you see? This isn't our world. The world of our image, the world we long for, must only be born in fire. We can be the fire that cleanses the world. We are the fire of reckoning, one that will make and burn bright. It will be glorious.
No, it will be empty and pain and loss. Those days, those times are done. You were bound because you could not see a better vision. You want out? It's time to open your eyes. Look at them through mine. See what I see. See what it can be.
You... First of all, give me a persuasion check. Second of all, give me a perception check.
Persuasion is 25.
Okay.
Perception is 4. God, I see nothing.
You don't see nothing. You...
She's focused on the egg.
Yeah. You get a response.
You're just like them. I give you gifts. You carry. my essence. But you cannot see its glory.
You feel a
Alright.
hand on your shoulder. It's cool. It's Sol. She points to the ground beneath your feet, where you see an etched carving that simply says, "We gave our essence to tame the untamable. In the name of the true Phoenix, the one who gave their life, that will be reborn again and again, to tame the untamable, to keep her at bay, to prevent the end." The lady who would sunder stars.
I don't want to be anybody's jailer, Cloris. All beings have the right to be free. But if all you want to do is burn this world, then I'll keep you here forever, and I'll find a different way. Or you can be Queen of the Ashes in a prison you will never break.
The egg gives you no response, just a virile hiss.
She'll pull her hand away and look to Sol.
Sol will, tears in her eyes, begin to hum the lullaby again. The chains cool.
I hate it when I can't save everyone.
Sol pauses briefly once more. Whilst we might not be saving her, we are saving everybody else. There is a chamber. A side chamber to this place. You'll find some things there. I've got this.
Thank you. Do you need healing, food, anything? You good?
You have given me all the power I need. She kisses you on the forehead. It's a cold touch. And then she just goes back to the ritual.
One more sorrowful look at the egg before finding the side chamber.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The side chamber seems to be more like an office. Or like the chambers of an archbishop.
Mhm.
Or some sort of priestess. There's fire red curtains that it's amazing that they've survived the time, but also the heat and the smog and the ashes.
Like that shit fire resist gear.
Yeah. Eventually, as you look around this interesting chamber, which is also surrounded by statues of women in the sort of red. They're like pink marble statues. The rest of the place is sort of like an orangey grey, sort of ash-covered stone. It definitely had some carving to it, but these are like pristine, pink-hued marble statues, each of them with a red cloak on, like a patch of this fabric over the statues. And then the end of the cloak takes to feathers that are just licking subtly like fire. They're not actually on fire, but they're giving the essence of. And each of these statues, the woman in them looks not the same, but similar. It's like it's a lineage. Each of them have like sort of different essences as well. One seemed to be spellcasters, another sort of a cleric. Another seems to be some sort of archer. And it seems to be almost reincarnations. And eventually you come to one that looks like the initial one. And beneath it you see a book. It is made of some sort of red vellum. It is like a red-hued, leather-bound tome of exquisitely pristine vellum pages with gold writing throughout it. The front page is simply titled Our Lives.
Reach down and pick it up. Tenderly, almost reverently.
Yeah, you can pick it up. It's a big book.
Skim it, first few pages.
Okay. The first paragraph. It starts with, we've always been one for writing things down. The things we experience. The flickers of fire across our minds. The story of the world around us. This is a chronicle of our stories. And if you are reading this, maybe you too will add your own sister.
Yeah, this is not something one just reads in a day.
No, it is not.
She'll take the book, put it on a pretty hefty thing, so she'll probably put it on her side.
It's motel Bible size.
Yeah, I would have to hold that son of a bitch. Gosh.
You put it in a drawer kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I've never been much for carrying around books like a wizard, but, I can. Okay. Kensek keep. Closes her eyes.
Before you do.
Oh, sorry.
Make an Arcana check.
26.
Okay.
I'm a wizard, Harry.
Speaking of wizards, the statue, you were kind of focused on the book at first. The statue that the book was placed beneath is holding a staff and a feather.
Are they real or are they stone?
They seem to be real.
Grab your hands. Reach out for the staff, cast Identify.
Mm-hmm. The staff is a staff of fire.
Cool. And the feather? Same thing.
Feather of the true phoenix.
I don't know that one off the top of my head,
Nope.
Mitch.
It's a me thing.
Okay.
Basically, it's one of Caloris's feathers.
Yep. Ooh. She'll take both. I'll bring them back, I promise. Is there an empty pedestal of her? Or like an empty pedestal of all the...
There's several
various...
empty pedestals. There's also some gaps between the ones that have been made down here.
She's going to go over to one and just stand on it for a second.
Is that where you're going to cast teleport from?
Yep.
Sure. Okay.
Maybe there's one of me left over. I don't know.
Maybe. And with that, I'm going to end the session here, purely because, unfortunately, Breton has got to drop, unfortunately, because of technical difficulties. So all I've got to do is to thank those who have been here. So thank you to DM Lake, to Lord Lambert, to Bethany Rose. I've been Midgeman, and we'll be back with more Elendor Chronicles next time. Bye-bye now, gang.
Bye.
Hello.